Hello, I am the ghost of poets past, Ghosty for short, and I believe I've explained this in the past on my social media, but I do not currently know how to produce music, and so I'm just trying to do what I can, and my songs are currently a cappella, so I thought I would try to share one on YouTube and see what people think. So I'm going to do a little intro like this for each song when I get ready to upload them. For now, I think I'm going to try to do a little intro like this. So this first song is called Abandoned by Society, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The song is for anyone who has ever felt like they've been abandoned and nobody cared about them. The song is for you guys, the losers, the outcasts, the people who feel like they have nobody. So this song is for you. Have you ever felt abandoned by society, like you didn't have one person's pity? Have you ever felt so lonely, with thoughts like nobody's any time for me? Then you're in good company, and this is your invitation to the ghostly society. Over here, we're all lonely, and we all feel like we've been abandoned by society. So we know that nobody can see what we do, because we know they don't care. It's true. So if you've ever felt lonely, likely abandoned by all of society, then come hang with the ghosty. We can teach you how to survive, and once you accept being a ghost, even thrive. Let the song guide you on your journey to seek what is true. Why are people so often abandoned by society when they aren't pretty, but never because their personality is shitty? Man, that's crazy. This world been on the brink of insanity for more than half a century, and it's getting kinda scary. Sometimes it feels like I've truly got nobody there for me, and honestly, it saddens me deeply. Well, that's enough of the vague poetry. Let's get into the story of how Ghosty became lonely. Let's get into the story of how easy it is for a poet so lonely to be abandoned by society. Right after graduation, I had a short period of spiritual gestation. Came out and decided I was atheist and got abandoned by every friend who was a theist. That was the first time I felt truly abandoned by society and got deep down and lonely. Had nobody left to stand beside me, so I went socially crazy and lost the societal sanity. So I withdrew because I decided there was no point if they couldn't handle it when I spoke true. Why bother forcing myself into a society that clearly didn't want me and only saw me as a danger, a cancer, nothing here? And this was the first time I ever felt abandoned by society, abandoned by sobriety. Didn't nobody want me, made me lonely, made me crazy. When I got abandoned by society, when I got abandoned by sobriety, couldn't take these feelings I felt when I got abandoned by society, abandoned by sobriety. Didn't nobody want me, made me lonely, made me crazy. When I got abandoned by society, when I got abandoned by sobriety. And when I couldn't take these feelings anymore, that was when I knew I had to rhyme what was true. Once there was a large tragedy at a place called the Hook of Sandy, and I asked people for one request simply, to stop speaking of tragedy so casually, but they wanted to speak about tragedy so perpetually, so they all abandoned me. A monster within me was all that they could see, not understanding their attention prolonged the tragedy of the victims of the Hook of Sandy. For how could they move on within the family when random strangers kept speaking of tragedy? Say your piece and move on, no need to preen and prawn. But once again, I was abandoned by society and forced to be lonely for what I thought eternity. Alas, it ended after 5 years, and I found the courage to try and make friends. Yet in the end, we always end up setting the same trends, and I was the one who abandoned society, this time with the fullest of hypocrisy ever to be allowed within a single rhyme. People blame my poetry and music for their own misery and attempt to end it. So I decided they would be better off without me, and this time it was I who abandoned society. And at the end of the day, I guess it would be unfair to say that I'm the only one to ever be abandoned by society, abandoned by sobriety. Didn't nobody want me, made me lonely, made me crazy. When I got abandoned by society, when I got abandoned by sobriety, couldn't take these feelings I felt when I got abandoned by society, abandoned by sobriety. Didn't nobody want me, made me lonely, made me crazy. When I got abandoned by society, when I got abandoned by sobriety, and when I couldn't take these feelings anymore, that was when I knew I had to rhyme what was true. So what are we supposed to do when we feel abandoned by society? Write some poetry, say fuck that goddamn sobriety and you pity? Look, I went and fell in love with an OnlyFans model, and yeah, it's fucking pitiful. But what the fuck was I supposed to do when I was feeling so fucking lonely and blue? Same thing I always do when I abandon you for more than a week or two. more like a year or two, while we both cried a tear or two. My bad, that was just me, being lonely, living in pity. Truth was, you forgot all about me. But now I'm back on my poetry, my own form of therapy. And yeah, I got some bad habits too, won't deny that shit is true. When I feel ignored by you and I start to feel blue, I like to run away too. With a heavy sigh, I close each one of my eyes and think deeply. Only then do I realize how much it truly breaks me when I'm lonely. And I know I can't be the only one to feel lonely, the only one to abandon society, and it breaks something in me. How could we let it get to this, where people feel no kind of confidence and get no types of compliments? How could we let it get to this? With such a lonely society, hearts become hollow pits. People so desperate for love they're willing to pay for it and still feel like shit. Think then feel twice as lonely as before once they leave that money right there on the floor. How did we let it get this far? To where love feels more like a commodity than spoken honestly and truthfully and casually.